All right. So the next part of this is that I knew evolution was real too. I had not a speck of doubt about evolution. And so I said to myself during all of that time, I could never be an evangelical again, because they would never accept me as an evangelical, since I believe in evolution. But I wanted so much to be able to experience the beauty of being a part of an evangelical church. The love that I experienced in my family, the love experience that, and I remember saying to myself, one particular Sunday afternoon, we took our family to a beach, and it was in San Clemente, and our two daughters, who were about 2 and 4 at the time, were playing in front of me on the beach. And I remember thinking to myself as I looked down at them playing on the beach that they're not going to experience what I experienced. They're not going to experience that fellowship, that part of being a part of a body and doing all the things that we did as the body of Christ, that I knew, because I could never bring them to a church like I had grown up in, because I wouldn't be accepted. I believed in evolution. I had no doubt about evolution. I believed that's how God created. And I felt as though there would be no room for somebody like me in a church that was conservative as it relates to the issue of 10,000 years old, which to me just didn't make any sense. So that's the way it seemed to be. Moved to Syracuse University, where I was a faculty member after that, and was about ready to give up on church. We tried various churches, not evangelical churches, although some of them were evangelical. And there was a particular Sunday, particular weekend, where we said, my wife and I said, well, that's it, I guess we'll just give up. We don't like the mainline. I mean, that was quite a few years ago. There might be some, I know there's some great mainline churches today, but in those days we couldn't find them if they were there. And evangelicalism, where evolution would have been accepted and was accepted. And then evangelicalism, no, it never fit in there for different reasons, and the reason being that I believe in evolution. So we're ready to give up on church. As a very last resort, right at the end, would have been the last church I would have expected. We decided, I'm going to drive across town. It's a little ways to drive, 20 minutes or something like that. But there's a church there, we'll try. And so went to that church and found out right from the start, knew for that very first Sunday, this is not an issue. This will never be an issue. The people were just so warm and loving, and they didn't ask, nor should they necessarily, about how they knew I was a scientist, and it didn't come up how it didn't really matter. I was loved, I was cared about, and I knew it wouldn't matter how I felt about creation. Was in that church for a number of years after that, and they were wonderful years. Grew to love and appreciate these people, and Christianity became, I mean, it had been becoming more and more real all the way along, and now it became very exciting, especially in that context of the body of Christ, a loving, caring group of people. And I just loved my faith, and I loved the faith. And so I decided I was going to devote the rest of my life at that point to working within Christian higher ed, so that I could be a part of the lives of other students like myself who struggled with the issue of creation. So I could work with Christian young people. And I moved from there then into Christian higher ed, which is where I've been now for 24 years.